So the dish I'm going to prepare right now is a Faro. It's a Middle Eastern or Mediterranean style Faro dish. Faro is an ancient grain. It was used throughout Italy and throughout the Mediterranean during the Roman Empire. And it was used often in the same way that rice or pasta is used today. And it's had a resurgence of sorts because it does carry a lot more health benefits than, say, the modern wheat varieties. And it's also just very versatile. It lends itself well to salads. It's very high in fiber, and it's delicious. So this dish you can substitute a brown rice or orzo or other couscous would work in this as well. And this is going to come together fairly quickly. The longest part of the dish is simply cooking the Faro. Faro takes about 20 to 30 minutes to cook. The easiest way that I have found to cook Faro is to cook it like pasta. To cover it with water, add a little salt, boil it until al dente, which is approximately 20 to 30 minutes. It depends on the different types of Faro that are available. So we'll get the Faro started, set that to the side, and then we'll do our saute, which is simply some fresh vegetables, asparagus, roasted garlic, some Kalamata olives, and olive oil and fresh herbs. And it's delicious. It works well with grilled fish, with shrimp, with chicken, and it's also incredible just as a standalone dish on its own. Just fire it up. So remember, we're going to do this like pasta, so the measurements don't have to be exact. You just want to make sure that you watch it continually and do not let it run dry. So as the water boils down a little, just add a little more water and keep it covered until you get it to a point where it's soft. I just like to cover it to keep it from boiling over on me, from splattering everywhere. There is a fair amount of starch in the Faro. I'll move it to my back border so I can move it up front. That's it, easy. For the sauteed vegetables, just use a little bit of olive oil, a couple of 3 tablespoons or so. Get that warming or medium heat. This is going to be a very fast process to bring this all together. So take about half a bunch of asparagus, maybe a third of a pound, half a pound roughly, and I've trimmed the ends here. And I'm just going to cut them into roughly 1-inch sections. And since these are the toughest ingredient in this dish, the most sturdy, you want to start those first. Just get them coated in the oil, let them start to sizzle. Asparagus does not take long, 4 or 5 minutes or so. While that's working, I'll get the herbs ready. You could really use a variety of Mediterranean herbs. Thyme would work. I'm using oregano and parsley. A little bit of dill would be nice. Even a touch of mint would be nice, so that it would really brighten all of the flavors. And I've worked many restaurants where the chefs demand that the herbs need to be chopped incredibly fine, but in this dish I really prefer that the herbs are really loose and kind of large. In this dish I really prefer that the herbs are really loose and kind of large. love to saute asparagus. I think many people make the mistake of steaming or boiling it. Sauteing it, giving it a little bit of char, a little bit of caramelization around the edges, intensifies, deepens the flavor of it. My favorite preparation is simply to do this, a little lemon juice, a little salt and pepper, and you have a side for just about any steak, fish. Glaze the pan with a little lemon juice, about 2 tablespoons or so. Salt and pepper, some roasted garlic. You can roast your own, but we actually offer it on our olive bar here at Market of Choice, and it is a secret ingredient of mine. It's super fast, simple. You just throw a little into salads, pastas, saute, and again, you're adding a really intense depth of flavor, and it saves you a ton of time. We just have some Kalamata olives. You could use Casa Vetrano. Really, anything you desire. You just want the tomatoes to start to whisper. Finish. Just some fresh arugula, spinach. Quick toss, let the greens start to wilt just for a few seconds. I prefer them to still have a little crisp texture to them. And this is almost a summery salad, and then just finish with a little salt and pepper and olive oil.